All right, recap last week's game. Went down to Bethune-Cookman and homecoming for those guys, and they was ready to play. They jumped on us, kind of reversed what we've been doing the last 4 or 5 games where we jumped on teams and got a lead in the first quarter. They did it to us. They jumped up on us 14-zip after the first 7 minutes of the game. And then we settled down. I thought, we kind of settled down into the game. Thought we played pretty well from that point on, especially defensively for the next 3 quarters. The last half of the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the first half of the fourth quarter just gave up 3 points. And offensively, we was able to settle down and get things turned around, get a couple of scores, and retake the lead. And thought we would be able to hold on, but we couldn't. They made some plays down in the fourth quarter. And you got to take your hats off to Coach Sims and his team and their effort and not quitting, which we knew they wouldn't. But then, offensively, we had a chance. We drove the ball back down, took a shot with 8 seconds in the end zone for the win, and then set up for the field goal attempt to tie the game and missed it. And I told Adam it wasn't his fault. He's human. He made a mistake. He missed the kick. We missed passes. We missed tackles. We missed blocks. We missed reads. We missed throws. And he missed the kick. So it wasn't his fault. It was plenty of other plays out there in the game that could have determined the game. I mean, if we get a stop on 4th down, ball game. So it when they had to go to a kick. So we definitely not blaming Adam, but we did have opportunities. Solid, very solid. 3-time defending champs, and they really are in control of their own destiny again this year. If they went out, they'll beat A&T the last game. They'll win it again. That's what they've done the last 3 years. Beat them on the last week of the season to ensure two ties and 1 outright win. So they're in the same position they were the last 3 years where they control their own destiny. And so we know they know that, and they know they need to win. They still in the race just like we are. So we're going to get their best, and we have to be prepared for that. It's going to be a 60-minute war out there Saturday because they're going to bring in. They're very good offensively, defensively, and special teams. The best player on defense is probably Hunt, the middle linebacker, number 52. This guy runs down wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. It don't matter. He's fast. He's tough, and he's relentless. He's a great football player, and he leads that defense. Then the other linebacker, O'Neal, 34. I think he's the second leading tackler on the team behind Hunt. Those guys are tremendous at middle linebacker in the middle, and then with that front 4. And in the secondary, Reynolds, 22, leads the team in interceptions with 4, and he's up there in tackles with 45. So those guys lead that bunch on defense, which has been good the past 3 years, and it's good again. And offensively, of course, they got a freshman quarterback, and they got 2 or 3 quarterbacks they play. They didn't play the freshman last week, I don't think. And he says it's week to week. How they practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, and with the game plans they have in, whoever executes the best, that's who he goes with. So we don't know which one of those guys we're going to see, but we do know Chauncey is more of the runner, and he was there last year. So they got a couple talented wide receivers, Murphy and Miller. Murphy had a big game last week. Murphy has over 500, I think like 530 yards, and Miller's over 300. So they got a couple of guys that can get it done in the wide receiver position, and then, of course, at running back. They got a very solid running back. I think he's like 560 yards rushing so far this year. So they're a very dangerous team, and it's a reason that they're 3-time defending champs. They're good in all 3 aspects of the game, special teams, offense, and defense. And then they're well coached. Coach Mack and his staff do a great job of preparing his guys and executing. The defense, they're going to make you beat them. They're going to stop the run, put people up there. They're going to play bump and run pretty much kind of the same way Bethune-Cookman did last week. They play a lot of man, and so you're going to have to get open, and they're going to put pressure on you. You got to get rid of the ball. So it's going to be another battle. We have to be prepared and ready to execute, make some plays, score some points.
I was noticing that from the numbers. It seemed like I was going to ask you, how similar are they to Bethune? Because it looks like also on offense they have a lot of guys who touch the ball. I mean, Bethune had 8 different receivers caught a pass in the first half of the game last week.
Yeah, they kind of spread it around too, but they got, like I say, those 2 guys that leading their team with over 500, over 300, but they spread it out. They don't look to throw the ball to one person. They kind of, like us, they're going to take what the defense gives you, and they call plays depending on what type of defense you play. If you're going to press them a lot, and, they run the picks and the slants and throw the screens and things of that nature. You play off, they'll throw the hitches, digs, and curls and outs. So they're very well coached, and so we have to be ready to play.
And looking at the film of Norfolk State's game against them, was there anything that stood out as to what Norfolk State did?
No, they just made some plays. They made some plays. They're going to get up there and challenge you. You got to get the ball out, and you got to get open. You got to get open quick, and that's what Norfolk was able to do. And number 5 for them, I forget his name now, for Norfolk. Anyway, he had a big day against them. He caught a bubble route, and they caught the Sam back looking in the backfield a little bit, and he threw it out to the bubble, and he was like 2 steps behind him and never caught him. He just took it right down the sideline for about 55 yards, and then he scored on another play on a pass down the sideline. So he made a couple of plays against them, and they got some confidence. They went on the road up there and scored early, and then scored again, and so they got confidence that they could play with those guys, and it made it tough for them. But one thing about North Carolina Central, they're never going to quit. They was down 21 to zip, and came back and lost 28-21. So they cut it to 21-14, and then Norfolk scored again and made it 28-14. And then Central came right back and scored and made it 28-21, and that's how it ended. But there's no quit on these guys. They've been down before, and they came back and won, and they got the heart of a champion, because they are 3-time defending champs. So it won't be any quit in them. If we get up on them, we got to keep fighting and to keep that lead on them.
They also tend to leave the door open a little bit too. Other than that win over Delaware State this last week, all their wins in the league have been by less than a score.
Yeah, they not as good as they've been in the past. Offensively, I think it's what it is, because Bell gone. He lost Player of the Year, all conference type quarterback, and when you lose a guy like that, it does something to your offense, whether you want to admit it or not. And so they're not the same team offensively that they want to be. They're still growing and trying to get there. They're still developing. They did put up some points last week against Dale, I think 42. So that offense is heading in the right direction. And also, you're talking about playing freshman quarterback, and so he got to grow in the offense and get a better understanding. So that offense is going to continue to get better and better as the season goes. So that's kind of why that defense is going to keep them in there. And then they just got to make enough plays offensively, and they have been making enough to get wins.
What was the feeling for the team after that loss at Bethune? Because it was the first conference loss. What did you guys talk about afterwards?
We just talked about well, it hurt. I told the guys, I was hurting just as much as anybody, but at the end of the day, we lost the game. We had an opportunity. They was better than us that night. We had 60 minutes to prove it, and we couldn't do it. So, I had to go over there and shake his hand and congratulate him, and you got to go over there and shake their hands. I saw a lot of our guys was on the ground. They were disappointed. But at the end of the day, when we won all those games we won, you went over to shake people's hand. They came and shake your hand. Now you got to go do the same thing. It's a two-way street. So you have to win with class and lose with class, and that's what we did. And then we just got to get back, watch the tape, see the mistakes, and take advantage of the opportunities. And when you got a chance to finish them, you got to finish them. If we can get one more score there in the fourth quarter, probably could put it out of reach. We couldn't do it. And then, of course, we got to get that stop, and especially on fourth down, and we weren't able to do it. So, you got to learn from that situation. We've been in a lot of tight games, and it showed. I mean, we came back and took the lead, and then we just weren't able to hold on with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Even though, I guess destiny isn't in your own hands right now. It certainly could happen that you guys still win. Do you point that out, that it's still?
Oh yeah, we still have a great opportunity to be champs. If everything goes perfect the way we want, we could be outright champs. But we still need some help just to be co-champs. And if we win out, we got a great chance to be co-champs. But we have to win out. We have to do what we can do. That's all we can do. We got control what we can control right now because we don't control our own destiny. So we have to control what we can control, and that's this game, and then the next game, and then the next game, and we see what else happens, see where the chips fall, and see where we at.
Greetings and welcome to the HU Pirate Sports Network. I'm Jerome Barber here, Mike's side with Coach Maynard. Welcome back from Daytona Beach.
Thank you, Rev.
Another road trip, and just 1-2 plays away, Coach, and came up on the other side that we don't want to come up on, but got down early and showed some strength and some guts. It's not wins and losses and wins and learns, or work hards and learns, and that was a work hard. It was. We normally come out and jump on the other team, get up early in the first quarter. And they reversed it last week. And, after 7 minutes in the first quarter, we was down 14-0. Yeah.
And we knew, they had a good football team. We knew it was homecoming. We knew they was going to come out with a lot of emotions. And we tried to match that intensity and just couldn't do it early. But I thought after that first 7 minutes, we settled down and played some very solid Pirate football for the rest of the game. Guys fought back and took the lead, and we almost cut it to 3 right before the half. We had a touchdown, a long pass on a touchdown, and got a call back on a holding call. It would have made it 17-14 with us coming out getting the ball, but it got called back. So 17-7, which is not bad after 14-zip start. And then we came out in the third quarter and kind of dominated that quarter.
Yeah.
And took the lead and played very well for the first half of the fourth quarter. In the last 8 minutes, we gave up the go-ahead drive, game-winning drive, actually, and they got it on a fourth down play. So, we was right there, like you say, a couple plays away. We made that stop there. We got a chance to run the clock out and win the ball game, but it wasn't over. So we get it back and we drive down where we actually throw a pick, and then we stop them again and get the ball back and drive it down and get in field goal range. And with 8 seconds, they jumped off sides, and so, I was trying to figure out, was the clock going to start when he started the play clock?
Right.
And I was trying to get his attention, and he wouldn't look at me. And so they took so long, I was like, okay, we're just going to call a play from here. Even if he start the clock, we're going to snap it right on it, and we won't lose but a second.
Mm-hmm.
And we still can run one more play and take a shot for the win. And we tried to throw the fade all the night, and we couldn't execute it, and so we had to settle for the field goal attempt to tie the game going overtime, and then Adam just missed it, and that happens.
Oh, yeah.
He's human, and
Yeah.
we made a lot of mistakes, missed some calls, missed some reads, missed some throws, missed some tackles, missed some blocks, and he missed the kick. So nobody can point a finger at him because nobody played a perfect game.
Yeah. Coach, what they say in football, particularly college football, is you always want you to have a November to remember, and so October gets you ready for your November. What are some of the lessons learned, from our October? That game closed out October for us. Our next game, we're opening up November. Some of the shining stars, particularly from the Bethune-Cookman, that you can kind of use as motivation to keep the guys, because I know they were dejected. I know they were, had that eye on the prize. And how do you use what we've already done, especially in that Bethune-Cookman game, to motivate them, that this season's not over, let's keep focused?
Well, we just need a little bit more effort. We're right there. We know we had opportunities there, and we just got to get a little bit more effort on every play. One more second, and that's the difference in champions and in middle of the pack and not winning championships. Is that a little bit more effort that you got to give, and we just got to give that. We're right there. We're fine defensively, and we just got to realize that we can only control what we can control now, and that's ourselves. So we have to win out, and then we need some help. But like I said, we got to take care of what we can control now, and that's North Carolina Central this week, and then South Carolina State, and then Howard, I think.
Right.
So we have to take care of those games, and starting with this week, we have to take care of that, and then we need a little bit of help down the road, and we'll be fine.
North Carolina in our sights, North Carolina Central. They're coming to us. It's 1 o'clock kickoff time. We are celebrating breast cancer survivors. We're pinking out in the stadium. It's also Family Day, and so a good festive. Football is always exciting in November. You know, the weather's just right, and just early games, good family outing. So, but there's a football game that has to take place. All that stuff is up in the stands, and the Eagles are coming to do some business, and the Pirates are in their way. And so, you know, we match up well against them. And, you know, I'm sure you got your scheme ready. Let's talk about that game. Central, as they come in, a lot on the line, a lot on the line.
It really is. You know, they have a loss, but they still control their own destiny because they went out, they can win it, you know, and like I said, we have to control what we can control, and that's winning this game and the next two. And in their minds, you know, which they do, they control their own destiny. They went out, they're going to be champs. So, yeah. And they've been in that same predicament the last 3 years. Right. 2 years ago, first 2 years they won out to be co-champs, and then last year they won out to be undefeated, outright champs. So they back in the same boat they were the first 2 years, and we understand that. We know they got champions on their team. They know they're not going to quit. You know what they expect them to do. They come in expecting to win, and we expect to win. That's why you play the game. So. We're going to be prepared. We look forward to this challenge. It's against a great coaching staff and a great team, but we'll be up for the challenge.
Nobody expected us to be where we are at this point in the season.
Right. I mean, we was picked to come in fifth. They was picked to come in second.
Right.
And they in second, and we in second.
And we're in second.
You know, so A&T was picked to win, and they in first right now. So, you know, we just, like I said, we got to take care of what we can take care of, control us. And if we can do that, we'll be fine. Fantastic.
It's a 1 o'clock kickoff. We take on the Eagles of North Carolina Central right here on Armstrong Stadium. Wear your pink. Enjoy the festivities as we celebrate breast cancer champions and those who are caretakers as well. It's Family Day as well, so we got all kinds of family activities for the young Pirates and the old Pirates. It's going to have a great festive atmosphere, and then you cannot resist when Coach gives you a personal invitation to come and watch some Pirate football. Got to come out and support your Pirates. We're in second place. We can still win this thing. We got to win this game. This is the biggest game of the season, and so we need your support. Come out, support your Pirates, and root us on to this win and help us get to the Celebration Bowl. Once again, 1 p.m. kickoff time here at Armstrong Stadium. If you're anywhere close by the area, get here to the stadium and just enjoy some good Pirate football. As we close out here, we need that 12th man in the stand to give us that motivation to push us over the edge. This is the HU Pirate Sports Network, and we say, Go Pirates!